You won't believe what has just been exposed about gospel singer Canton Jones. For years, he built a massive following in the Christian music industry, blending gospel with hip-hop and R&B. Many admired him for modernizing gospel music, making it appealing to younger audiences while still carrying a message of faith. But now everything is falling apart. His own wife has stepped forward, not just with subtle complaints, but direct accusations that threaten to destroy his career and everything he has built. Let me tell you, this isn't just some personal drama. It's a revelation that has sent shockwaves through the gospel music community. His wife, someone who has stood beside him for years, has now shattered the image he carefully built. She claims that his songs were never truly meant to be gospel. That's right. The very music that made him famous, the tracks that were played in churches and Christian events, were allegedly nothing more than a marketing strategy. But here's the shocking part. She claims that Canton Jones never had the true heart of a gospel artist. Instead, he was allegedly using the gospel label to push his brand, making millions under the image of a faith-based musician while secretly engaging in activities that had nothing to do with Christianity. She even hinted that Canton had financial dealings behind the scenes that violated gospel industry standards. What does that mean? Well, some are now speculating that he illegally manipulated his music profits, funneling money into businesses that had no connection to his faith-based persona. This is where it gets interesting, because for years, there were whispers in the industry that Canton Jones's music was walking a fine line. Some traditional gospel singers had raised concerns about whether his songs were too secular, and now, with his wife's shocking confession, those concerns don't seem so far-fetched anymore. Was Canton Jones ever truly committed to the message of gospel music? Or was it all an act, a well-played deception to gain followers, church bookings, and revenue? What makes this story different? It's not just an outsider making these accusations. It's his own wife. She has been there from the beginning, watching everything unfold, and now she's the one lifting the veil. This isn't just speculation anymore. It's coming from someone who knows the truth. If her words hold any truth, it means Canton Jones was never the artist his fans thought he was. It means the industry might have unknowingly supported a fraud. The craziest part, some sources claim his wife has proof. Not just words, but actual receipts, documents, and financial records that could expose everything. If this information gets out, Canton Jones could face serious legal consequences. Gospel music is not just about faith. It's an industry with rules, regulations, and financial structures that artists must follow. If he's been misusing church donations, manipulating contracts, or accepting money under false pretenses, this controversy could turn into a full-blown scandal that ends his career for good. Destiny took an unexpected turn, and now Canton Jones finds himself at the center of one of the biggest gospel music scandals in recent history. His fans, the church leaders who supported him, and the industry executives who worked with him are all waiting for answers. Will Canton deny the accusations? Will his wife release the evidence? Or is there more to the story that hasn't been revealed yet? You won't believe how fast this controversy is spreading. Just when fans thought Canton Jones was a respected figure in gospel music, his wife shattered that image with shocking claims that have left everyone speechless. Let me tell you, this isn't just about personal drama or a misunderstanding. This is about deception, money, and the truth behind his so-called gospel career. This is how everything unraveled. It all started with a few subtle hints from Canton's wife on social media. At first, people assumed she was just venting about personal issues. But then, she dropped a bombshell. She outright claimed that Canton's music was never truly gospel. She exposed that behind closed doors, Canton allegedly admitted that he only made gospel music because it was a profitable market, not because of faith. But here's the shocking part. She didn't just stop there. She went even further, suggesting that Canton had been involved in illegal financial dealings. According to her, he had been secretly manipulating his earnings, redirecting funds, and taking money from sources that weren't supposed to be touched. Some are even whispering about misused church donations and unreported income. If any of this is true, Canton Jones could be in serious trouble. This is where it gets interesting, because if you've been following his career, you know that Canton Jones has always been a controversial figure in gospel music. Many traditional gospel artists questioned whether the entire industry. Now, those same critics are saying, "We told you so." They believe Canton was never a real gospel artist, but rather a businessman who saw an opportunity to profit off the church. What makes this story different? Usually when gospel artists face scandals, it's about their personal lives. But this is much bigger. This is about fraud, deception, and using God's name for financial gain. And the craziest part? His wife is standing by her accusations and even hinting that she has evidence. Destiny took an unexpected turn, and now Canton Jones is being exposed in a way that no one saw coming. Fans are demanding answers. Church leaders are distancing themselves, and industry insiders are wondering, was his entire career a lie? You won't believe what's coming to light about Canton Jones's so-called gospel career. For years, fans believed he was a devoted artist spreading the word of God through music. But now, with his wife exposing shocking secrets, people are starting to question everything. Let me tell you, this isn't just a minor controversy. This could change the way people see Canton forever. If what his wife is saying is true, then his entire career was built on a lie. This is how it all started. Canton built a name for himself as a gospel artist, but there was always something different about his music. Unlike traditional gospel, his style leaned heavily into hip-hop, R&B, and mainstream sounds. Some fans loved it, while others questioned whether it was truly gospel. But now, the truth is coming out. His music was never supposed to be gospel in the first place. But here is the shocking part. Canton's wife claims that he only labeled his music as gospel because it was more profitable. She allegedly revealed that behind the scenes, Canton never had a deep connection to the gospel world. Instead, he studied the industry and realized that gospel music offered a loyal fan base, less competition, and higher financial opportunities. This is where it gets interesting, because if this is true, then Canton Jones may have been misleading the gospel industry for years. Imagine this. While fans believed they were supporting a faith-driven artist, he may have only seen them as paying customers. It's a devastating revelation, and it explains why many gospel legends never fully accepted him. What makes this story different? Most artists facing scandals deal with personal issues, but Canton's controversy strikes at the heart of gospel music itself. If his music was never meant to be gospel, then was he exploiting the faith of his listeners for financial gain? And if so, how deep does this deception go? The craziest part? Industry insiders are now speaking up, and some are confirming that they always had doubts about Canton's authenticity. Some say he struggled to fit in with true gospel artists because his heart was never in it. Others claim he was more focused on making money than ministry. Destiny took an unexpected turn, and now Canton Jones's career is under fire. Fans are questioning whether they've been supporting a fraud. Churches that once promoted his music are reevaluating their association with him. And the biggest question remains, if his music wasn't truly gospel, then what was it really meant to be? You won't believe what's coming to light about Canton Jones and his so-called gospel career. For years, fans believed they were supporting a genuine artist dedicated to spreading faith through music. But now, the shocking truth is coming out. He may have been using the gospel industry as a personal cash machine. Let me tell you, this isn't just about music. This is about fraud, deception, and a financial scandal that could destroy his reputation forever. Reports are surfacing that Canton Jones has been illegally earning money through gospel music, and his wife has had enough of the lies. This is how it all started. Canton built his career under the gospel label, but industry insiders now claim that his earnings were never legitimate. Some allege that he took advantage of church-based music platforms, securing massive payments from religious organizations under false pretenses. Others claim he manipulated streaming numbers and sales figures to make his music seem more successful than it really was. But here's the shocking part. His wife is now exposing him. According to sources, she revealed that Canton never intended to be a gospel artist, but saw the financial benefits of positioning himself in the gospel scene. She even hinted that some of his revenue streams were not just unethical, but possibly illegal. This is where it gets interesting, because if this is true, Canton Jones may have been scamming churches and fans for years. Imagine the betrayal. Faithful listeners believed they were supporting a ministry, but in reality, they may have been funding a business built on deception. What makes this story different? But this is about financial fraud in the name of God. If Canton Jones misused church funds, deceived donors, or manipulated gospel sales for personal gain, then this could turn into a serious legal issue. The craziest part? Church leaders are now distancing themselves from him. Sources say some organizations that booked him for events are now investigating whether they were overcharged or misled. Some fans are even demanding refunds, claiming they were tricked into supporting an artist who was never truly gospel. Destiny took an unexpected turn. Canton Jones may have thought he could keep up the act forever, but the truth is catching up to him. His wife's revelation has set off a chain reaction, and this scandal is only getting bigger. What will happen next? Will Canton face legal consequences? Will he admit to his deception, or will he fight back against the accusations? One thing is for sure, the gospel industry will never look at him the same way again. You won't believe what's being uncovered about Canton Jones's career. For years, he branded himself as a gospel artist, spreading messages of faith through his music. But now his entire image is being questioned. Was he ever truly a gospel singer, or was it all a carefully crafted act? Let me tell you, the gospel industry is in shock. Insiders are now revealing that Canton never had the intention of being a gospel artist. Instead, sources claim he saw the gospel world as an easy way to gain fame and financial success. And now his wife is exposing the secrets he never wanted the world to know. This is how the deception started. Early in his career, Canton positioned himself as a gospel musician to gain credibility. He used churches, faith-based radio stations, and Christian music platforms to build his audience. But was he ever truly committed to the message, or was he just using the gospel industry as a stepping stone? But here is the shocking part. His wife has come forward with claims that Canton Jones never lived the gospel lifestyle. While his songs preached faith and morality, behind the scenes, he was allegedly making moves that had nothing to do with God. From shady business deals to industry politics, it's now being questioned whether his music was ever genuine. This is where it gets interesting. Some of Canton's past collaborators are now speaking out. Artists and producers who worked with him in the past claim they knew something was off but never expected the truth to come out like this. Some even say they were pressured to create music that sounded gospel, but wasn't really about faith. What makes this story different? We've seen gospel artists face personal struggles before, but this is about someone who may have built their entire career on deception. If Canton Jones was never truly a gospel artist, then what does that say about the music he released and the people who supported him? The craziest part? Fans are starting to turn against him. Many are now questioning whether they were manipulated into supporting an artist who never truly represented gospel music. Some churches that once booked him for performances are now distancing themselves, afraid of being associated with the growing scandal. Destiny took an unexpected turn. Canton Jones thought he had built an unstoppable career, but now everything is falling apart. His wife's shocking revelations have shattered the image he worked so hard to create. And the biggest question remains, will he come forward and tell the truth, or will he continue to fight against the accusations? You won't believe what's being uncovered about Canton Jones's financial empire. For years, he has presented himself as a gospel artist, using faith-based platforms and churches to build his career. But let me tell you, the truth behind his money moves is far from holy. This is how it all started. Canton positioned himself as a Christian artist, knowing that the gospel industry had a dedicated audience willing to support artists they believed were spreading God's message. But was his music truly about faith, or was it just a carefully crafted business strategy? But here's the shocking part. His wife has now exposed that Canton was never really in it for the gospel. Instead, he allegedly used religious branding as a front to pull in massive amounts of money from Christian fans, churches, and organizations. His concerts, merchandise, and collaborations generated millions. But now people are asking, was any of it earned legally? This is where it gets interesting. Sources claim that Canton's financial dealings have been questionable for years. Reports suggest that he may have used fraudulent business practices, manipulated contracts, and misrepresented his music to secure large financial deals. Some even claim he made money from churches under false pretenses, leading to accusations of fraud. What makes this story different? But Canton's case is unique because he allegedly built an entire career on misleading his audience. If it's true that he was never really a gospel artist, then every dollar he made from gospel fans and churches could be considered money obtained through deception. The craziest part? Churches and industry leaders who once supported him are now speaking out. Some pastors have publicly condemned his actions, while former business partners are distancing themselves from him. The gospel community is divided. Some believe he should be forgiven, while others think he should be held accountable for every dollar he made under false pretenses. Destiny took an unexpected turn. Canton Jones built his name in the gospel industry, but now, the very world that once supported him is turning against him. His wife's shocking revelations have exposed him in ways he never imagined, and now, legal experts are even questioning whether he could face lawsuits over his financial dealings. The biggest question remains, will Canton come forward and admit to the allegations, or will he fight to protect his image? Either way, his days of being seen as a respected gospel artist are over. You won't believe what's being exposed about Canton Jones's entire career. For years, he was celebrated as a gospel artist, a man of faith who brought inspirational music to the world. But let me tell you, the truth behind his music is nothing like what his fans thought. This is how it all started. Canton Jones entered the gospel scene with a fresh sound, blending hip-hop and R&B with Christian messages. He quickly gained recognition in the church community, performing at faith-based events and collaborating with well-known gospel artists. But was it all an act? But here is the shocking part. His wife has now revealed that Canton never intended to be a gospel artist. According to her, his music was never meant to be spiritual. It was all part of a bigger plan to break into the mainstream industry while using the church as his launching pad. This is where it gets interesting. Canton reportedly admitted in private conversations that he knew gospel music was a safe way to build his name. Unlike secular artists who struggle to get recognition, gospel artists have built-in audiences, churches, pastors, and loyal Christian fans who support artists they believe are spreading the word. And Canton allegedly took full advantage of that. What makes this story different? Unlike other gospel artists who have faced scandals, Canton Jones is being accused of something far worse: deception. It's one thing to fall short or make mistakes, but to build a career on faith-based music while never actually believing in it? That's a level of fraud that gospel fans are struggling to forgive. The craziest part? Some insiders are now claiming that record labels knew all along. There are reports that industry executives saw Canton as a marketable artist and encouraged him to stay in the gospel lane because they knew Christian audiences were more loyal. If this is true, it means that his entire gospel career was manufactured, not by faith, but by business interests. Destiny took an unexpected turn. Canton Jones thought he could play both sides, using gospel music to gain a following while secretly preparing for mainstream success. But his wife's shocking revelations have put everything in jeopardy. The gospel community is furious, and even his most loyal fans are questioning whether they can ever trust him again. Now, the biggest question remains, will Canton finally tell the truth, or will he try to cover up the allegations? One thing is for sure, his career will never be the same again.